Thank you. It's a pleasure, to be invited again, to be here in Basel. We hope that Casper would be part of the tournament, but he lost. So I had to go to Paris quite quick to see if he can come. And the most important thing now is for him to qualify for Turin. So for Beat and Kai and Federica, thank you for inviting me. And I will try to spend a valuable morning for you. And I will, after a little bit of slides, I will get the players on the court. And we will try to together try to see how does, coaching for the future look like? How can we get players like this to get on the court and actually become better every time we are coaching them? So a little bit about myself. I've been on the court too long, maybe many will say. I was calculating how many minutes have I been on the court. And it's close to 2.5 million minutes coaching tennis. And most of that has been with just normal players, club players. But the good thing is this, that, with that amount of hours on the court, you learn what is important and what has a direct impact on players and what is not that high priority. Right now, I'm doing a lot of things for my federation and, of course, also now a little bit for the French Federation, just to see how we can educate coaches. And I work with the Olympic Center, and I will get into that a little bit later. But I started very young, and I was lucky to meet Dennis Vandermeer, who was a PTR coach back then. And I see Luigi over here. I met him also very early. But then I moved to the States, and I was running for many years a few clubs in Florida. And then, of course, with Carl, I worked with Kim and Carl for 3 years. And very important in this team environment, it's really important that we filter information when it comes to the player. Because what we see these days is a fitness coach and the physio and all the people that are involved with the player, they go directly to the player. But what Carl was so concerned about back then is that we never really talked directly with Kim. The other thing with Kim was that she said she was not really interested in technology. She didn't want to get analyzed. And I asked her why, and she said, I don't want to see when I do things wrong. And you will see today that when I coach the players these days, we don't do that anymore. Because the positive reinforcement is so important, and that's what we did with Kim. We could see behind the scene what we were doing, but she had videos on her computer with her really best matches against Sharapova, Wozniacki, and those players. So I've been on the court with Casper since he was 10. I will come back to that and see what we did. I've been doing a lot of traveling, also with TV and Eurosport back in Norway. And of course, I went to the Olympics this year. And I must say that I took this picture just to show you that, when I was on the boat into the opening ceremony and I saw hundreds of thousands of people in the rain, I understood how important really sports is all about. It's so important for people. And if you saw Paris this year, all the arenas were filled up. So it was a great experience for the first time to be at the Olympics. Tennis is a big sport. And it's more than 1 billion people, on a weekly basis following tennis. And it's also a good sport because it's close to 100 million people playing the game. But you see that it's almost the same with women and men playing the game. Professional tennis, it's not into depth, but the most important thing you can see here is that there are quite a few tournaments in quite a number of countries. And one of the tournaments are here right now. And tennis in general is important to understand the dynamic of tennis. And again, it's a long season. You know, skiers in Norway, they go from November to April and it's over. Now we go from January to November, but then in November you say that take some time off and then they go to play other tournaments. So tennis is like 12 months. So how then do we work with players when it's tournament all year round? In Norway, we have been growing since Casper came in and we did a lot of coach education. We have a plan and most important, we have a philosophy of how do we bring people into what tennis for life. So even if on the left side, if you go all the way up to performance, we want players to have so good experience that we bring them into tennis for life. So that's the life experience. And of course, now we have a new junior. 8 years ago, Casper was #1 junior. Now we have a #1 junior again. And also a female player that won doubles in US Open. So what I'm trying to say is that tennis is growing in this little country. And that was also part of working with Carl back in 10, 12 years ago, is that back then Belgium was a small country, did unbelievable. So he also broke our mindset to saying, hey, you can also do it if you do things right. And I will tell you what we have done and what we did to get there. Because tennis is a game with some factors. And if I go to a tournament like this tournament, you will see that the fitness area is unbelievable. All over the world you see thousands of square meters where you have fitness, fitness, fitness. But if I want to go and show Casper a video, I can't find the screen. So, because, you know, the technical and tactical part about the game, we haven't done too much about that compared to what we have done with the fitness and mental part of the game. So I think we have to reconsider how we focus. Because if you focus on too much fitness or too much mental, and you don't take care of the technical part and the tactical part, I think that the players will not become as good as they can be. Because on a tennis court, there are 3,850 situations on this court. And I can ask them, how many of those did you practice yesterday? And you will see that they practice very limited number of those situations. Why? Because we coaches don't plan. We don't really understand. We do the same thing all around the world. You go forehand cross court. Right now, you will see that in Asia, and you will see it pretty soon when they wake up in the States. But I believe that we can do a better job because we have the zones on the court. When did you practice, you know, all the zones? When did you practice all the modes? When you are defending or attacking? Because this is where you have to practice all the different shots like in golf. You have to, if you are 50 meters from, you pick up a different club compared to if you are 400 meters from the green. Same on the tennis court. It's not the forehand. It depends where you are, what situation you're in. And they don't practice too many of those situations. Because tennis is a question and answer game. Where are you in the zones? What kind of ball did you get? And what kind of shot did you choose? And that's the question and that's the answer, what you do. And the more we can get the players on the court to see that and evaluate and try to figure out, the more and the better they will be. So we believe that the future, and it's not the end of the presentation, but we think that the future will be more to teach a technical solution to a tactical situation. We think that will be the future of how we are coaching. Because this game is this. You discover it's a forehand, you make a decision that it's a forehand, and you execute the forehand. But if you don't do this, what's supposed to be in the upper right-hand corner? If they don't give themselves feedback, they will not learn. So if you play on a tennis court and you don't put up a target, you're not getting a message back. What did I try to do? What happened? What's happening? And the players look and say, hey, get the coach. The ball is flying away. And they think they need a coach. But then we as coaches have done a bad job, because we should educate them to understand that if this is happening, this is what you have to change. So hitting tennis balls without targets is not what you want to do. You always want to do that. So this is a tennis court. And on this side of the court, you can hit the ball 43,000 spots. So there are like 43,000 spots on the court. Now talk to the person next to you for 15 seconds. Why do we miss such a big target? Why do we do that? Tell the person next to you why are we missing? When we have 43,000 spots, why are we missing? Go. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Why are we missing? Warum? Yes, because when we are back here, we see the whole court through the net. So in the beginning, you start to aim directly towards the target. And then, of course, the other thing is that you aim for the line. If you aim for the line, 100 balls, 50 balls outside, 50 balls inside. So where are the players aiming? They are aiming here. They aim and are smart enough to say that we are trying to keep the errors down. Because again, guys, to win tennis matches, it's all about not making mistakes. It's all about not making mistakes. If you want to go and make them 30% better, you just say, hey, slow down, hit the ball in the court. But you saw the speed of the ball, when you had this radar, that, the pocket radar that everyone should get, because it's an indication. You're behind the player and you tell them, you know what? You hit the ball as hard as the top players. What's wrong? Something is wrong. What do you think is wrong? What? Yes. So they're missing the control. So what should they do? They should slow down. But we tell you every day, but you say, oh, no, I'm so strong, I'm going to hit the ball hard. Because hitting the ball hard is so much fun. So that's the name of the game. We hit the ball hard. And even worse now, these days, you have rackets that are so powerful. So you give a racket to a junior and you say, powerful racket. And what do? They hit the ball harder. So we say that about tennis players, is that if you have 100 EIQ when you are outside the tennis court, the minute you're on the tennis court and you grab a racket, down to 50. Because you have to slow down. The more we can make you slow down and the more we can control the ball, you will become better tennis players. Because it's all about ball control. Then you need racket control. Then you need body control. You need footwork. You need energy. You need attention. And you know what? I hear too much of everything talking about intention and energy, footwork, maybe body control, but hardly anyone talk about racket control. But this is where it happens. Sorry. This is where it happens. What you do with the racket. Because this is the direct impact of where the ball is going. All the other stuff is indirect factors that maybe will make you play better. So you have a pretty tough job being a coach these days. What direction do I go? What do I go? Do I go with fitness? Do I go with mental training? Tactics? What do I do? And what we do these days is everything. Because you cannot become the best version of yourself if you choose just one of them. So how to become the best version of yourself? As a coach and as a player, you need to use technology. And technology is there to accelerate learning. You will speed up learning if you use technology the right way. If you make them more aware of what they do with technology, they will understand more and they will be practicing maybe better. The problem is that it gives you so much and more or less all the answers. The only problem is that how do we make them improve? And we are going to show you a little bit like when they're on the court, how can we work to make things go a little bit quick? So they go off the court, say, yes, today I've become a little bit better. And I strongly believe in this. I strongly believe in this. It was not only Kim that said that I don't want, negative reinforcement. I want positive reinforcement. I want to know what I can do. So tennis coaches, if you see them do something, they are not doing anything wrong. Take that away. It's nothing wrong. It's just that this is where you are right now. And we have to add something to what you do. So let's see how they can hit some tennis balls, okay? And let's see, instead of looking at them with your eyes, because I know what you normally do, you try to see what you think is not right. Now, when time is 17 minutes past 9, is it 9? It's 9. You know what? That's when you start to look at players and say, let me see what I like. What do I really like with the players? Guys, thank you. Go forehand cross court. Nice and easy, and don't be stupid now. Okay? You understand? Yes? Okay. So what do you like? And I want to see 5 things. Each one of you have to come up with 5 things that you like about the 2 players, because they're good players. What do you like? Okay, go, play. Oh, look at that. They are smart, they can hit the ball. Look at that, so good, so good. So do you see 5 things you like? Okay, stop. So what do you like? What do you like with this guy? Good-looking guy. He looks very fit. Early preparation, hit the ball in front, to balance everything. And you tell him, you celebrate. My God, you're a hero. You are so good. But how can we get you to be a little bit better? There's nothing wrong you do. You're good. But we have to give you something to hit the ball even better. So what can I do? I can take up my phone. And you take up your phone when you want to find out what you like. You don't take up the phone when you want to show them what you don't like. I know you do that. I have also done that. But what you want to do now is get there and say, my God, I'm going to show you how good you are. So I take up my, and you go, you can hit, go. Just hit forehands. Go forehands. Yes, and then you say, all right, okay, and now I show you. Look at this. Have you seen it? lately? Yeah. Okay. So what do you like? What do you think is good? What is good? What is good?
I think I'm ready for.
Yeah, you're ready. Yes, you're ready. You see, you're ready here. And look at this. See where you hit the ball. Oh, good in front. Ah, you celebrate. You see the guy, it's like he said that I'm pretty good at make the preparation. I show him that he hits the ball in front, and now you have the evidence. Now, what do you want to do? Over a period of time, you want to walk up to him, and he at some point, he will ask, what do you think I can do better? I'm not the one. He's the one that are looking to find out what can I do better. Okay, good. Let me go to the other side. Keep going with what you do, okay? So as you see on the screen, to be positive is super powerful. Okay? Okay, are you ready? Okay, here comes a few forehands. Look at that. Okay, stop. Okay, you like your forehand, huh? Pretty. You like your backhand better. Okay, so, but look and see how good it is. Okay, you see preparation here. Okay, you keep going. You hit the ball quite good in front. You use your legs quite nice. You recover, and you see, oh, really good. Anything you've been working on? Okay, so he knows perfectly well what he can do better. And that's what you see. When I talk to juniors, most of them know everything that they have to work on, very little what they're good at. So you can imagine when you're on the court, and you just on the court and you don't know really what you are good at, well, it's not easy to play this game. So what we are talking about is this, that every day when they are on the court, they want to be a little bit better. And if you do that every day, you will be damn good in a year. So I showed this slide to a mathematician, and he said, it's wrong. I said, what's wrong? Now, if you get 0.3% better every day, you become 200% better every year. So it's enormous. If you can just get a little bit better every day, so what do we want to work on? You see his backswing is a little bit, a little bit high, and this guy is not getting any power from the ground. So now I can show them that, and if you come to me on this side, I just do a little bit of work, and I put them on the court, and of course, they're not going to focus on the same thing because, so I want you to hit the ball down the line, and I want you to think that instead of going up, come over here. So instead of going up, you saw that your swing is a little bit high, so I want you to turn a little bit more this way, okay? A little bit lower, okay? Here, I want you to take and bend your back knee a little bit more. So go boom, and when you hit, I want you to come up, to push up a little bit more to get, and you go this way. So let's see now. So all you want to do is make them feel a little bit better. It's not going to be a big change, but you hit over here, and I go here. And I said, okay, you turn more and you go down more. Okay, you go, and don't hit the ball too hard, guys. Okay, so remember, this is to get power, but instead of doing this, you can do this. Okay? Now this is to get power coming up. Okay, let's see. Go, turn around, yes, here, and go up. Bop, bop, bop. Now, by the way, why do you have to use your hand? Is that because you want to save your racket? Why don't you feed with your racket when you'd like this? So I see all this bloody hand feeding. You can do the same with your racket. Don't use your hand, because they want to see that you can also handle the ball. So use this like this, and you can go fast, and you can go like this. You can go faster like this, and you can do a whole lot of things with your racket. And all you want to make sure is that when you see he starts to smile, the minute he starts, oh yes, now I feel. Then you want to celebrate. Do it again. Now turn around. Wow! Did you see that? Did you like it? Yeah, but did you like it? Okay, so he is concerned about the ball. I'm concerned about him. I don't give a shit where the ball is going. I want to see where you are, what you do. Okay, do it again. Now focus on yourself. Okay, go. No, you're measuring again. You just look at yourself. What are you doing? Oh, happy? Yes. Now let's see. Okay, come down, and up. Yeah, not forward, come up, okay? Because you're trying to hit the ball. Yes. Do it again. Yes, do it again. All right, okay, I'm so happy. And you show them, of course. You want to show them that you're happy. It's your job. You don't want to just say, oh, it's up to them. It's my bloody job to make it happen. And I have to be energetic, and I have to be the one want to make this happen. If I just let it go, I say, okay, big swing, I don't care. I don't know, let's see if he can find out himself. No, it's our job. Tell the person next to you what you think. When I'm taking a sip, tell the person next to you, oh, you have no one next to you. You have to find someone next to you. So what do you think? Can this work? Is it possible? What do you think, Kai? What do you think? Can it work? It works. Yeah, it works. Okay. So now, I think you should really, really look at this, because we can do the right exercises. But guys, if we don't do things right, it will not happen. So in the discussion yesterday, we talked about how can we become as good as we can be? How can they become as good as we can be? We can practice every day. We can play the tournaments. But we have to make sure that when we play tournaments, when we are on the court with them, that we do things right. Because this is how it works. I give them a little bit of coaching, and now they have to practice on their own. So when they're back now, if you go to that side again, if they go back now and they practice on their own again, because I have given them now my insight, what I think they should do, what they're good at, now they have to go back on the court and practice on their own. Because now when they practice on their own with one thing to work on, down in the right foot, a little bit, and turn more. So now let's see what they do. Is it a huge change? No, it doesn't have to be huge, but it's a little bit here. It's a little bit. Okay, sorry. Down and up, even more. Down, down and up. Yes, yes, that's a good one. Go. Oh, look at that backhand. Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Okay, stop. Guys, come back and sit down for a minute. A little bit of applause for them because they're doing such a good job. Okay. Now listen to this.
For første gang da jeg var rundt 3 år gammel.
He was playing when he was 3, and he wanted to be number 1 when he saw Casper play. No, Rafa play. So this is Casper when he was young, and he always wanted to see if he could be number 1. He was traveling around the world with the parents, playing tournaments, practicing, and suddenly he became a world-class player.
Jeg hadde bestemt meg. Beinhard jobbing, tøffe kamper, lange turneringer. Berrettini, Federer, Nadal og finalen i US Open.
Norwegian finalist in US Open history.
Herlig tennis på alle måter.
Nå jeg veldig nære målet. Drømmen kan bli til virkelighet. Jeg vil bare si takk for all støtte på veien.
So he's just saying, he's keep dreaming, and he just thank everyone that's been with him on this journey. But how did it look like when he was 11 years old? On this side, no one really at that time, and this is Carl, you remember this when he was this age, no one was really looking at him saying, oh, that guy will be top 10 in the world. So why did he become so much better? Because we said that we want to develop based on facts. We learned from Carl, we learned from Belgium, we learned from France, we learned from this, took it back home and said, we have to do this better. So we plan to be best, not really result-wise, but we wanted to be best at planning, we want to be best at utilizing technology. So we made a team around him, the club, the parents. We had the physical and technical advice, and the federation supported as good as he could. And at that time, when he was 12, he was practicing 580 hours a year. That's about 10 hours a week. But the biggest issue here is that the fitness in red was so low that, you know, it was hardly anything. So he increased the number when he was 13, he increased the number of hours, but more in the fitness than in tennis. And then it was 14, we did a lot of fitness testing and a lot of technical tasks. And of course, this is how he looked like when he was 12. And as you can see, not right, like, wow, what a player. It's okay. He had a dream, he had the fire inside. 13, a little bit better. And he started to practice more. And then 15, big team. Not all of us, of course, were full-timers, but we had a team, and then practice even more. And he started to become a player. And I will explain to you what happened. Now you see the backswing is getting higher. And now you see his push from the right foot is more. And suddenly he could put ground force and racket speed without losing control. And this is really a message to you all. I am a little bit worried. I didn't see your kids' tennis presentation yesterday, but I'm a little bit worried to tell the 7-year-old to play like Nadal or like to play like Casper, because they don't have the resources to do that. So we know that. And that's why, you know, when we were on the court with this guy and other players, try to simplify the technique. Try to see that there are certain things you cannot do when you're 7, 8, 9, 10. But then when your resources, when your strength are there and coordination is there, now you can make the swings a little bit more fancy. Now you can swing like the better players. But if you do this too early, you will lose racket control. Again, lose ball control. So that's why it's so important to understand this, that when you see them, now they're growing, they're getting better, now they can start to swing a little bit higher and so on. Do you understand this? That you are strong enough, but why you're going too high, it's because you're not turning. So turn more and you will get it. Okay, he started to practice more. He became number 1 in the world. And of course, it's also probably because he colored his hair. So you see that now he starts to be more solid, stronger, and he could now hit the ball harder with the same ball control. He could now hit the ball without making mistakes. So when we get on the court, and here's like how he dropped juniors down to number 1. This is later on how he became at some point number 2 and 3, and now top 8. And this is, can you speak
My name is Casper
a little bit
Ruud.
higher?
I'm 13 years old. If I work hard, maybe top 100, top 50 or something.
Roland Garros finalist, Casper Ruud.
Someday I would like to try to become world number 1 and win Grand Slams.
I love the way he plays. He's so energetic.
The ultimate goal and motivation has always driven me.
The most successful Norwegian tennis player ever.
Before we talk about tennis, send my prayers to everyone who lost their lives on this tragic day.
The attitude is brilliant.
This is game, set, match. The first major quarter-final has turned itself into a first major semi-final.
First of all, I think I would like to congratulate Carlos. I respect you a lot as a person and a player. My closest one, she's here with me this week. My mother and father are here. My father is my coach, and they are also very close to me. So thank you.
You just reached your first Grand Slam final.
He's young, he's hungry, nothing to lose.
When I saw Rafa Roger on TV when I was young, I said that I want to be on TV someday myself, and I think that just stuck with me all my life.
So the team have been working together for a long time. Most of us under this have been with him for 10 years. And the trick is to understand the player, understand the dynamic, and understand the how to make him keep the fire inside. You know, and sometimes, of course, like now, he's a little bit like this, but now we have to work even harder to make him go up again. So we've been using technology for a long time, and the future of coaching is, of course, you know, to look in to see what we can do. And to learn means that we have to change things permanently. So back on the court, guys. So all you want to do now is make them practice. And to make things, you know, if you want to learn this and never go this high again, so say that your forehand become as good as backhand, work with the target, okay? Now, so you go in between the service line and the baseline, and you aim for the target. And you do this, and it's not important every time. If the ball is coming really fast, you don't want to come up again. You want to stay down there, but you want to come down a little bit more than you do. Okay, hit a few back and forth and try to hit the target. And sometimes we put up the target, doesn't matter where it is, but the problem is, okay, don't get nervous now. Okay, all right, look at this. Look at this, okay? Here, okay. Okay, so what we want to do now is make sure that they hit balls with accuracy, because tennis is about accuracy, and this happens most of the time that we tell them to go in this, and you see immediately they stop moving their feet. Now, so guys, I didn't say don't move your feet. I said hit the ball and move your feet like you normally do. Go. Move your feet, and means that, okay, go a little bit, recovery. Okay? Because tennis, like we said, is sending, it's receiving, it's sending, and recover, and repositioning. So all we want to do now is, when they leave the court, we want to see that they're actually changed. Okay, go down more on your right foot. Good. And of course, when I like what I see, oh, look at that. Okay, good. One more ball, because now I'm going to take a video from this here, because now it's the end of the practice. And I said, down even more, down, and put your weight on the right foot. Okay, right foot. Oh, look at that guy. Okay, come here, I show you. So the first one here, you see, and now you're on the front foot, but I want you to be on the back foot. Okay, now you see, this is what you want to do. You see how good it is? This is what I want to do every time. Keep going. Okay, so you see, I never tell him that it's wrong. I say that this is what he's doing, and that's what you want to do. It's the same with this guy now. Okay, keep going. Hit forehands. Okay, so you are turning instead of going, oh, that's better. Yes. Stop. I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you now. Because this is what you did a few minutes ago. Look and see. You see that your racket is over your head in the backswing? Look here. Okay, and then you said, okay, I can do better. So just in a few minutes, you have done this. Look and see now. Now you're turning around, and you turn. Yes, you see how? Yes. So you show them, and then you say, now guys, I see you next week, and I really want you to focus on this. You can of course send the video to them and tell them this is what the good news. This is how it should look like. So you try to make this happen. You try to see that you want to change something permanently. And that's when they learn things. Because look at this step for development of skills. What we are trying to do is, in the first step there, we want to make them conscious. We want to make them motivated and to bring them up to what we call understanding. When you understand, then you have done your job. That's when you just leave. And they say, oh, okay, I want to feel this, I want to reflect, I want to accept, and I am the one making the decision. So he's saying, okay, understand, and he's the one, because this is a job of the player. He's the one saying, yes, I want to do this, I want to push, and I want to make that decision myself. And that's when you change. That's when things are happening. And if sometimes they can't make the decision, you go back again and you try to make them understand again. So when we work with players, we go from open and observation phase. We go into to find out what are the challenges, and we go into what we call the detailed training, close training. Back again, and we go open. So this is what they want to do now. You can put the target a little bit further back. Put the target a little bit, okay, put it between the service line and the baseline, right there. And now see if you can do it here. So sometimes you're going to make it easy and then go back to what you did in the beginning. Go. Okay, slowly guys, let's see if you can do 10 times. Fantastic. Good. Down and up. Yes. Down and up. Good, good, good. Great. Again, let's a little bit applause for these two guys doing a hell of a job. Now, of course, we do fitness screening every day to find out how is Casper in shape. We do match analysis every time he's playing. We do tournament analysis to see why he was doing so well. And of course, we utilize all the information we can get from Hawkeye and those. And benefit of technology is, of course, that we can work smarter, with more purpose, with higher quality, and it's a great way of communicating with the players. So positive reinforcement is, this is what I do for more or less every match. It's even if he loses, I give them a little bit of what was he doing well. And again, it's the ball control that is the key. It's not the speed of the ball or the spin of the ball, but spin of the ball give you the top spin give you control of the ball, so you can hit the ball harder and control the depth of the ball. But this is highlights that we do. And now and then, Casper will say, hey, tell me when my return is not well, and so on. But I'm not pushing what he can't do. I'm pushing what he is able to do. And then we come to a big future for all of us. How do we utilize the modern technology? And I'm not going to spend too much. I will do a little bit more with them in a few minutes. But I will just show you what you will see, not only for the top players, but for normal players. What will happen? You know, now these days we have the insight that the quality of the ball is given from Hawkeye, and they bring that into computers, and they know that the serve these days, the average on the tour is 7.7, and return 6.6, and so on. That's the average. So then when you see a match like this, the graph is coming live to us. When we see that on our pad, we will see how they're doing while the match is going on. So we see the performance rating. So we see not every shot, but we see what level they are playing on. And you see the little bit of a dip there. It was just a match, but you see the dips of someone playing way below their level. And then you see the other one playing very much higher than the level. So the intelligence that we get during the match and afterwards can be important, but it doesn't necessarily have to do anything. But at least we get the number. Then, of course, we can look for the last 52 weeks versus the last 23 matches to see if there are any differences. And if we see that they are serving better, of course, we want to tell them. If they're not serving that well, of course, then we can look and see why. So this is how we work behind the scenes to figure out what can we do to help them, like we do with juniors like this. We do that with the top players, and they have to then make adjustment while they are playing tournaments, between matches, between tournaments, and we just have to find a way to help them. And then that's when you have to be careful, because you don't want to blah, 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 blah. You don't want to tell them too much. You want to keep this for yourself, and remember the same with you. I know a hell of a lot of things, but I'm not going to tell the players. I'm going to keep it until it's important for them to know, because I want to bring them up to understanding level. Now, this is also happening to us now, that the AI can do what I did with my phone here. I can also put it on the AI mode, and the app will tell you the score, because it will look at the biomechanics and the biometrics, and it will tell you in 2D and 3D what you do, what's happening. Then you will get score, you will get, how you use your hip, how you use your shoulder, how you swing velocity. You will see how this is, so I'm not going to go into this, but other than show you that this will come in months. It's not even years. So that will give you this guidance to see that when you see good players like this, sometimes you cannot really see what it is because you probably haven't had the experience. But with this here, you can take this and get feedback saying, hey, now I see that there are no use of legs. The driving from the ground is not there. And you can see, oh, you may be late, so we will see. So we will see that, okay, so we can get the feedback from this, from the new technology. I'm not saying that this is something that you say, well, we put the coach on the side. I think this is, again, just a tool to help the coach and to help them speed up learning. But I'm sure that we have to get there because it's all about quality. It's all about quality. And quality for us means this. You need to have a goal for the lesson. They need to be, when they're on the court next time, it must be the same topic. They say that now there's a purpose. We want to make sure that we're there. Then we have open training and we have closed training, what I did. Then, of course, we have individualized training, meaning that each one are getting their thing. And efficient training means that they have to hit enough tennis balls. So how many balls do they hit an hour? These guys hit approximately 15 balls a minute when they play, when they keep the ball in play. And of course, if you play a match, it's not the same. If you play a match, you play for 15 minutes an hour. If you train like they do, they play for 45 minutes an hour. So parents, listen up. The kids are not supposed to play that many hours that you think they have to do. Of course, I'm not saying that you have to go down to half, but sometimes when they're working on things, keep the number of hours down, but the quality high. Playing matches, you can stay on the court for 5 hours because you're not playing more than 15 minutes per hour when you play a match. So you can stay there, but when you practice intensity, just keep the numbers down and keep the quality up. Because quality is so much more important than the quantity. And of course, Carl said this all the time that, yeah, well, but, you also need the quantity. Yes, of course. I'm not saying you have to drop down to half. But you can practice high numbers for 1.5 hours instead of 2.5 hours. And then you hit tennis balls, 750 balls for 1.5 hours. It's more than 1,000 balls. That's almost 3 times what you do in a match. And of course, I want all of you to do this today and tomorrow. I want you to tell them when they do a good job. I want them to be told that today you were good. And you know what? I want them also to tell me that today you did a good job. So the minute we are positive, instead of talking about what you can't do, and you tell me every time it's a bad lesson, and I tell you everything you are not doing right, I don't think that's the environment we want to do for the future of the game. When we see paddle and pickleball, they are more positive than we are. They are actually laughing. I don't see that many tennis lessons where people are laughing anymore. Have fun. Be proud. Celebrate when they do things right. Go out there and have fun. Have the energy. That's why I've been on the court 40,000 hours. Because it's fun. It is fun. And when you do a good job and they give you feedback on that, it's driving back home at night saying, yes, it's fun. But if I'm negative, I say, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, then of course you drive back home and say, my God, what a day. Be positive. Be energetic. Laugh. Have fun. don't get into the seriousness, because we don't learn from that. We learn from positive reinforcement. And practice all the different things. So come on the court again, guys. Now I want you to do this. I know that this is, but do this. Start here, okay? Start here. Now bump the ball like this, okay? Now every time you've done it 5 times, then you go back a meter, okay? So 5 times, and again, always move your feet so you have the same point of contact. Guys, so this is the point of contact, and even here you have to move, okay? So you have that same point of contact all the time. Okay, point of contact, point of contact, point of contact. Because that's, again, what is the same on everything? Balance, point of contact, preparation, those things are there all the time. What can change, keep going, guy, keep going. What can change is the size of the swing, the grip, the foot stance, the speed of the racket. That's things that can be individualized. Go further back, guys. And again, this is what we call a rhythm training. This is what you should do with every player every day. When they start really close, they have the same point of contact, and they rally, 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 and they go further back, and all they want to do is hit the ball with no mistakes. Because that's what it is. If these 2 guys can make less mistakes, they will win more matches. They can hit the ball hard enough. They can move enough. So even if Dean is here, you know, in tennis, 80% of the balls in tennis is in a situation where you're not running to the ball. So why do we need Dean? Well, I mean, that's why I'm here in the morning instead of Dean. No, so what I'm saying is Dean is, of course, very important also here to do the things right in the middle of the court, but it's not only running. It's, okay, now go all the way back, guys. Because if you can take care of this in the middle of the court, go all the way back now and just keep the ball in play. This is what you want to look like. When you're a junior, you want to hit the ball until there is nothing left in the ball. They should never make a mistake. And Christian, the coach of Casper, the father of Casper, he said that, okay, slow down if you make too many mistakes. So these 2 guys can become so much better, understanding that footwork, balance, because that's what you hear from Dean later on today, the balance part, the importance of utilizing the whole body and be strong enough to do that. Don't go crazy now. Hit the ball slow. That's the one. Yes. Okay, slowly, slowly, slowly. So we can do fast feet and a little bit slower racket. Fast feet. That's the one. Fast feet, slow racket. Fast feet, slow racket. Okay. Good. And this is the speed that you want them to practice. This is the speed. This is the speed. No mistakes. Just keep going like this. Okay, stop. Come here, guys. So if you do this with good players like this, and they come back home and say, I'm not making the mistakes now, I am really good because I'm working on one thing, and all I want to say is that you walk off the court with saying, yes, guys, today we did it. You worked hard, you tried this with your swing on the forehand, you kept the speed down so you now know that you can rally, move always fast, you know, even if you're close to the net. You do the same always. Here, get up from the ground and hit. And all this will make you better on a daily basis. Because we think that it is more into this. You do this in all the different situations, all the different zones on the court, and you will be amazed how quick they will improve. So the future of coaching is technology, the communication we do, focus on positive reinforcement, because The generation growing up now, they don't want to hear us running around just saying, bitching about what they can't do. And again, don't say anything about what they are doing wrong. Say, well, this is where you are now. Now you have to add to what you do. So guys, thank you again for these two guys. Did a very good job. Even we did not practice. Can you believe that, guys? You did so good. Thank you for the two players.